Let us know when you're ready, Ski Mom.
And try not to jangle your bangles. I'm just playing.
You know what's funny? When I'm recording, I literally have to.
Yeah.
Cause I'm.
You gotta take them off.
Right.
She draped up and chipped out.
And then.
Hello, world. Hey, I'm cutting you off. I'm cutting her off. Hey, she would talk all day to you, man. Hey, hello, world. San Quinn, and this is Hustle Continues podcast. I'm with my brother
Wayne Hayes. Welcome back to the show. And as always, you know we gonna bring that heat. The females in the Bay have always been an intricate part. I mean, whether we talking about the Conscious Daughters, Sugar T, you know what I'm saying, Marvelous. Who else? Just the female talent has always been an important component, and it gives us great an honor and privilege to bring to our show Silk E.
Appreciate that.
Silky's a beast on the mic.
A cold beast, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Appreciate that. What's good, everybody?
What's up, sis?
What's good?
And for those who don't know who Silky is, go ahead, do your homework, do your research. She's a multi-talented, multifaceted artist, not just no one-dimensional. So we're glad to have you here.
Thank y'all for having me. It's a pleasure to hang out with brethren.
Absolutely.
Silky, remember when she won MTV The Cut? She won a whole square.
Did she?
Yeah.
So that was several weeks of presenting.
Yeah, that's like like the TV stuff they do now.
What's that? Who
like
was it? AJ and Free?
No.
Left Eye did it, right?
Left Eye was the host, and then so she was the host. It was on MTV, and every week they would have different judges, but it's your peers. So it will be one time it was Dave Foster, and he did Celine Dion stuff, and Mac 10 and Tatiana and KRS-One and Drew Hill, So every week we came back, it was celebrity judges, and they gonna rate you.
Man, it was some rough. I'm talking about rigorous.
So y'all was
shit.
shooting it in L.A.
Rigorous, man.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Rigorous. Hey, her and G-Nut.
G-Nut came through like my hit man.
G-Nut passed away.
Okay, so
187
So at that time, you guys were presenting together.
He was her backup.
He was
answering all her questions.
He was my hype man.
Okay, cool.
So yeah.
Okay, so we gonna get to that. Let's start on your journey. Where are you originally from?
So funny thing, I was originally born in Los Angeles.
Okay.
And then originally, and then I say about 12, we moved to Richmond.
Okay.
And then that's where all of the it's
From
crazy.
bad to worse. No,
Listen,
I love
what's
Richmond.
crazy? I met a girl named Saitha Newell that lived in the Barretts, and we just decided we was gonna be a rap group then.
Right.
And we my mom was like, no, what are you doing? That little girl gonna go to school, But we did it, won a talent show, and we won the talent show a cappella. But after that, I think I was on wax every year since I was probably 14, every year till now. And so probably at about 16, 17, that's when I started moving more out to Oakland and start doing more business in Oakland and living and starting to see that there was a music scene, you know what I mean, where it was more foot traffic coming through. Yeah.
So coming from Richmond, who was some of your earlier, inspirations musically? So give me two sides. Give me locally and nationally some of the people that inspired you to kind of want to do it.
So, and you saying from Richmond?
Yep.
So Sin.
Let him die. Fuck it. Pull the plug. Shoot his body under the rug.
Right.
That nigga can't talk.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't and I gotta say it because I said it in a song with Short. I was like, I'm singing every word to Calvin T. Chad leaning so far, look like I'm in the backseat. High off the fumes from the Richmond refinery, but East Oakland tire smoke had to be blinding me.
So Calvin T.
Calvin T.
Shout out Calvin T. and my good friend Mac Magic Mike.
You better say that. Yeah. We really, when you say Magic Mike, what's crazy about that? Me and Saitha, I promise we knew all the work, and we go back and forth splitting the verse.
Right.
But
Right.
for sure.
Okay.
I never met her. Have I ever met her, that girl?
No, she, you know, unfortunately, she got killed when we were only like 16.
Wow.
Yeah, so we didn't
In
have.
Richmond?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Sorry to hear that.
Times were, you know, they were rough in those times. You know, in those times, especially during the war on drugs.
Absolutely.
You know, the prison industrial complex when they were attacking our communities, putting dope in it, and then jumping off buildings to choke us out about it.
Man, which in trickle down to right now that you know they're doing it for nothing really, but back then it was for nothing. It's just sad because these kids dying still right now, like
And,
you know what I mean, like
and
that.
the other trip part of that, like for me, I know I learned very quick and very early that you think that the mayhem is only happening with men and the boys, and no, in Richmond the girls was getting it too.
Oh,
Remember
yeah.
Candy, Candy died too. Remember she got shot in the head.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
I was with a little broad and her friend. I seen a girl and then she went to a party and she was the one that was dying.
Right.
She was
But I like how
you
you pointed that out. In Richmond and in other parts of the Bay,
in Richmond
they wasn't getting no pass.
No, it wasn't no pass.
You know, females wasn't getting no pass.
So when you liking somebody and you thinking, you better know who you attaching yourself to. And I could honestly say Richmond for sure gave me that all day. You better know what you doing.
Richmond definitely don't fuck around.
Right.
At all.
That's a final type
You
of
never
fight.
wanted the train to stop there. You like, no.
El Cerrito Station.
Right.
El Cerrito del Norte.
So now, getting back to the music, at a very young age, you got acclimated to where you knew that you had what it took winning these talent shows, and then you mentioned that from that point on, you was on wax every year after that.
Every year.
When was the first recording that you did that you felt you was on your way, or you was, you know, like, man, I'm with such and such, or this project really where you begin to feel like you had fans or notoriety?
So I will do my best not to be super winded about it. I feel like I could dial it in. I had did a song on this Kim Folks compilation, and it was called Whip One For Me. And everything I was talking about was the nitrous and the supercharger and the this and the that. And that was kind of the head nod where the dude was like, wait, how'd she know? And nobody was writing my stuff.
Always wrote your own.
Let's make that clear for the people
Real
in the
heat,
back.
though.
I don't care who lied to you. There's a goddamn lie. So with that said,
Sis used to be biting niggas' heads off, man.
listen.
Real like
Right.
Don't really like, you know I'm gonna buck up like a nigga and saying some get your ass out of here.
Gassing. That's what they're
fast gas, like premium
Gassing.
shit.
My main thing was, it wasn't even that I thought I was this or that. It was, I don't want to hear she tight for a girl, or the dude give you the sympathy verse. Nah, I want it to be when he want to do a song and he like, ooh.
Right.
Whoever's in the lineup, I want him to go, ooh.
Right.
I'm gonna call her too,
Okay.
you know. But with that said, I did that. But the thing that let me know was I was working with T-Pup. Remember T-Pup?
Yeah, I remember T-Pup.
He good. We
God
just
bless
was
T-Pup.
chopping it
What's up,
up
T-Pup?
for
We
sure.
see it,
And
man.
you know, T-Pup was a hook master,
Yeah.
and T-Pup was on all of that 40 stuff, all of that. Why is they barking? The wolf tickets,
Wolf tickets
all
is
them
T-Pup.
hooks, you know, all of them. That was, you know, Pup had something to do with that. You know, he was one of them people in the room. Right.
Yeah.
And so I rapped on his record, and while I was doing that, T-Pup is who took me to 68th and Avenal when Mike D and Sonny B was doing the Groove Line compilation. And I went and I rapped on that, and Von heard the project, and I was on both of those compilations, and they both dropped at the same time, and it was up from there.
So now, as we going through this timeline, and you hearing Groove Line compilation,
Lock and Load.
Yeah, Lock and Load. Write it down and go back and check these songs out and do your history, because this is during a time anybody just didn't have no studio. It was very expensive to have the equipment. It was very expensive to liquidate it and turn it into a tangible product. It was just a process.
You couldn't copy other people's style. You was
gonna get called out for that.
Yeah, you couldn't bite nothing, man.
And let me just say, for women, period, for your name to be called, you probably got called to sing a hook.
Right.
But you wasn't getting called to do no verse.
Right.
That's out.
It's
The minute
true.
she opened her mouth, everybody, we're gonna fast forward past that
true.
part. So you
So
know, you really
bringing
have to go for it.
bringing that concept right there. Let's stop right there and say, who were the women that you was hearing at that time?
For sure, Marvelous.
Marvelous.
Off top.
Regine.
Off top.
Frisco didn't have one at the time.
No. Well, for me,
We
the
just
girl,
got Kayla.
the girl that I thought was raw, and this is no diss to nobody else, but it was just, you know, I was coming up in battle rap. You feel what I'm saying? So people could have great songs, but Marv, you know, I was a little youngster hearing her, and she was gassing. You know what I mean? The hood loved her.
Right.
Past that, but you know, so I got to give her props.
Miss Marvelous.
And then another girl I that always had gas is Ashley Flames, and she did a few features, but she, for me, you know how you got an underground legend.
Right.
We was both, you know, coming up around the same time, but you know how. Oh, and let me not forget Amina.
That was used
Queen
to be up
Amina.
under Keisha Cole.
Absolutely.
She had fire.
Amina was Amina, Marvelous, and Ashley Flame. Them was the three females that I personally,
Respected.
yeah, because it
Amina.
was gas included.
I'm gonna go back and check for Ashley Flame since you
Yeah.
said that.
I became aware of Amina just through the Keisha Cole. I felt
That's all I ever heard.
I
'Cause it was
felt
definitely
like
gas.
I was like, whatever, you know, why I didn't, you know, connect for her.
Let me say this, and Mina, I
Is she
have
still
to,
doing music?
What?
I'm gonna
We
look
want a
you
song
up.
with you. We want a song with you.
Yeah.
We want a lady
Mina
song.
quietly, I'ma play what's in my phone. When I say gas, still no steps missing, not an ancient word is coming out the mouth. There's nothing dated.
If you vouch,
Pure-
your vouch is good. Her
absolutely.
vouch is good here.
right.
If the hustle
I
continues.
put my money on
I
it.
was excited when she was on Keisha Cole. I knew I was waiting like this. And, you know, sometimes it's about timing. A lot of times it's political. And then if you get caught up in that
Politics,
the big machine, your
Absolutely.
ass might become a write-off. That's why
Absolutely.
it's the independent game is the best game. Whatever y'all doing out there, don't quit.
Keep the
Yeah.
hustle continuing, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, without a doubt.
So we talked about some of the impactful moments in terms of the records that you know where you felt like it's up now. Everybody you put their ass on notice. When did you get to your first project? And who put it out? Who executive produced it? Because back then we had D-Boy contracts. So
You better say it for the people in the back.
With that money that they got from their grandmother. The first
Yeah.
10 bands.
right.
Yeah.
So talk about your first project and who was the neighborhood D-Boy that probably was. And this just assuming some shit.
No, you're right.
Even if he worked, he had a D-boy swag, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So I could say this, and I'm gonna say a couple of things at once.
Yay area.
First label I was signed to was Chemistry Lab. That was-
Chemistry Lab.
yeah, that was Jerry from Richmond.
Jerry.
Yeah,
Shout out
yeah,
Jerry.
Absolutely. With that
Rich
super,
Jerry from Richmond. What's up,
Yeah,
Rich Jerry?
yeah.
He's in the feds with my stepfather.
absolutely.
They got that motherfucking Porsche, 200,000 Porsche, man. We love you, Jerry. He probably got a spaceship right now.
Shout out Jerry.
Absolutely.
For Rich.
Literally, like hovering over a nigga somewhere.
And then during this same time, when those compilations happened and Pup put me on his record, he was signed to 40. So then I did Lieutenant Roasterbach, and you know, and I have to say this side of the story. It was funny because if anybody knows me for real, I got jokes. Like I play too much. I'm not as serious as people would think.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
Definitely he's gonna drop some loves.
And so when he called, he was like, hey, you know his voice. He's like, I want to do a song called Lieutenant Roaster Botch. My first thought was, so am I the botch that you're roasting?
Right.
Because I'm not gonna
be that.
I'm not gonna lay there and take that.
Right.
Do I get the cat back? Okay, so we could have fun. So we did that song or whatever, and
with who? Because people might have missed the point.
with E40.
Okay.
So did the song with E40, and you know
that became Colossus of Dinosaurs fossil.
Listen, and it became another, you know, hood classic or what have you. But my first project, I was signed to Lock and Load with Von Wilson and Brian Blackburn, and then you know,
real guys right there.
Right.
Yeah, they shot my video.
V wound up getting picked up, so I hate that he wasn't able to be around and enjoy.
He was really like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Say the names again for the people in the back.
So Von Wilson is who I was signed to.
Lock and Loaded.
Lock and Load. And
what's Ron last name?
Ron Blackburn.
Ron Blackburn.
And
rest in peace, Ron, man.
So when I did MTV, I had to probably record the contract in about, it felt like it was probably about 10 days. It was some business behind it where I had to hurry up and get it done. But during that same time, MTV, you know, it was a good push because they were seeing me on MTV every week. And then I wound up winning for the Bay one time.
You did that.
You know,
on the world. In front of the
you know,
I was getting loaded. I was happy as can be. It was a little lark.
But I'm gonna say this about when me and Quinn worked. I always respected Quinn hustle. Like he always had bars. He was always moving. With you and Keek, the love I have for them is even when it was a drought, they was dropping something and never stopped dropping.
Right.
So it kind of was all at the same time. That Lock and Load dropped put my first album out, which is called Urban Therapy, and then MTV was showing it, and MTV gave me a $200,000 video. Sure, that got pocketed. The video was done, but you know, whoever was around that got some extra padding, that video was not that.
So they funded. So part of the winning process was a budgeted video.
It was a budgeted video.
And did the budget come to the camp?
Absolutely not.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely not. So the label. So like.
It came to the label?
No.
Okay.
They just did the video on me and kind of go for it.
Said that's how much it cost.
Yeah, that's how much it cost.
Imagine how many artists they did like that for real in real life.
Absolutely. I done heard so many, especially on podcasts, you hear so many stories how, and I'm not saying the director did, but, you know, because the director got paid whatever he got paid, which beautifully was Ernest Dickerson. Much respect. He shot...
He shot some movies, didn't he?
Yeah. What was that? Was it Juice and Demon Knight?
Well, that's the way that.
But I'm not saying him. I'm saying, you know, when it's other hands in the pot, you don't know where.
It's the executive producer. So whoever was the one responsible for issuing the check, they're just going to say. They're going to itemize it.
Absolutely.
And they're going to say, this is a $200,000 video. We gave $60K to Dickerson. We gave the other $40K to all of these
lights and
all of that, which is all nephews and nieces and stuff.
Right.
And they bought their ass some lunch.
Yeah, crackers
and that kind of thing. And then we paid ourselves for the promotion.
Twice.
You know what I mean?
So they did that, and then V wound up, you know, running into some trouble, and then
But did Okay, so now that MTV done self-produced this video and gave you a budget. Good thing you weren't signed to them, because then they'd had to recoup that shit.
Wait, who was
Signed to MTV.
Oh, right. No.
Or that $200,000 budget that they gave you, you would have had to recoup.
Right.
But since that didn't happen, did they take that video and run it to the best of their ability to support you?
I'm one of those people. I believe that if the budget isn't gonna be there, less is sometimes more, and you could strip something down and make it look dope, or you could pan it thin and then it could look, whatever. What they did do was they had me in everybody's living room. They did do a behind the scenes, kind of like a lead up docu situation.
That's dope.
So you saw that and you saw the video. I feel like because something seemed a little sketchy with the quality of the video, I feel like it didn't get the nod that I feel like we would have wanted it to get. People watched it, they was on it and all of that, but you know how you see a picture of yourself and you be like, dang, why did I I wish that would have been.
That's why you said it wasn't no $200,000 video, because the quality definitely wasn't either.
Right, but let me also
niggas shoot movies and shit.
And this is no shade. We just talking about the past.
Right.
But I was beautifully put in a lot of homes. Like, I would be in a store and little old grandmothers of other ethnicities are like, I watched you out with me and my grandbabies. So it gave me a familiar face with the public, you know what I mean? And then the other thing it did do was when I would go to an event and see celebrities, they would think they knew me from somewhere else, not realizing it's the show.
It was subliminal.
Like, I'll never forget one time Rasan Patterson was like, wasn't you just at my cousin's house? I'm like, no, that wasn't. It was probably the show. He was like, oh yeah, we was,
Right.
So it did give that sort of gateway.
We sitting here right now with a Bay Area fixture, a legend, a dynamic talent, the lovely and talented Silk E.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. So, we've already established that she is definitely a legend, a pioneer of Bay Area hip hop culture. And so now we're in the 2000s, right?
Right.
You've had the experience and the positive moment around what happened with the MTV. How did you see music changing as far as the Bay Area landscape and music in general in the 2000s?
Well, I think it was starting to turn into the purge of big labels. I don't want to just say pulling budgets, but you started seeing like people who got signed to big labels. Sometimes I was just watching something with Carrie Hilson. They benched her technically for 4 years. And how that works is it's not a testament to your talent. It's who are they already invested in.
Right.
And I don't want to chance my money when I got, what is that? A bird in the hand is worth more than one in the bush. So I think it was like starting to kind of phase out where they were starting to do alternative deals and people starting to do, there's always been publishing deals, but I feel like everybody just kind of was started to do their own thing if they weren't signed, because we've always had a strong independent.
That's how it started.
There was always big money underground, and I feel like the Bay Area definitely always made sure, okay, you're not gonna give me what I'm asking for. Oh, I know who got it, and I know how to work this deal. So I feel like it was a lot of.
Yeah. So earlier in the history, we started out the trunk. Even Short said out of a paper bag, and then at some point the labels got a ear that we was making some good pushes, so they came and put their money in, and then that time, that test and that run gave them an idea on how strong the market was.
Right.
What, because there might have been different expectations, but this is a finicky market. So when they seen certain records or certain artists didn't do or did do as well as it is, they start being very more selective and kind of left. Same way like the tech people did. They came in heavy and strong and then
And blew out of here.
they left.
They got what they wanted to get.
Frisco sound like
Right. So at this time, if we talk about the 2000s, compilations is heavy. Everybody, independent people is still pushing compilations. That's how everybody was getting their money, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I want to add this too. With that, when we were talking about all of the kind of the circle of life that was happening during that time, the features, the compilations, the Song with 40, the MTV, like everything was moving. And when it came time to do the album, and this is no diss to nobody, they were like, who do you want to do a song with? I got a nice buzz going. I think they thought I was going to pick the usual suspects. I was like, Quinn.
Right.
I want to do a song with Quinn.
Right.
Okay, we're going to do the video. You don't want to? No. I know what I'm talking about. I know who next up. I know what I'm talking about. And I always just admired that,
I love you for that too, sis. You put
For
me on
sure.
big time. Let me take my time to say a little something about this.
Right.
Now they came and got me. That's big. They Silky already did her thing on the cut, so I was like, we did a song together, and it was dope. Like we always been like, she like a revolutionary, like she really like a revolutionary sister. You feel me?
Right.
And we did a real song, and we came.
What was the name of it?
Excuse me. It's called Hard Times.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, it's called Hard
Hard
Times. And they shut down the streets of Oakland. Watch Jeffries, you feel me, in the daytime. I got the streets cut off.
Look, we got to have
it.
it when they bring the crane and they wet the street.
Yeah.
And they got to have
It
it.
sounded like it was a budget.
Oh,
Puffy in there.
Listen.
I was
It was a
Puffy
hood.
in my thing.
Look, we had a hood budget.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You know, shout out
Hard
to
Times. Y'all gotta look that up. I didn't even see that one.
You ain't seen that one?
No.
It's definitely bombed out.
Sam Styles did it, and
That's the same one that did JT video, Game Recognized Game.
Oh, okay.
So they loved me already.
and then did Hard Times, and Hot Shit was right after that. So me and Quinn had just did the song. They playing it on Cameo.
We burning up. And I made a cameo on Hot Shit that was burning. Hot Shit was burning up.
Well-
So like Timberland did that.
when I did Hot Shit, the beautiful part of that was to see the Bay pull up. It was Charles Woodson, it's Keek, it's Quinn, it's 40, it's Rich, it's JR, it was a full.
It was
Right.
Rolls Royces and things.
Yeah, it was
You
some
remember
good
that?
shit.
Right. Big shit popping, little shit stopping.
Listen,
Yes,
And
sir.
then capping on Woodson and all kind of shit, Nappy head Charles Woodson, I'm in there calling him Nappy head Charles. You know what I mean?
Oh man,
Yeah.
those are some impactful moments. That's dope. So, how did it do, or what? How did it do?
Well, I'm gonna say this because I don't want to get to preaching numbers, but
Yeah, it was big. It was
what I
colossal.
do know,
It was big. We
what
was on
I-
CMC
what
doing
I-
all kind of shit every day.
what
Yeah.
I'll say this to not turn it into something. What I do know is that the CD was selling for $19.99, and there was several thousands that moved around, and it was money that was not
Allocated for it.
The
Divvied.
seed, it wasn't divvied.
it wasn't it's giving, it wasn't divvied.
Right.
It's giving. I see 550 bins, and where is mine?
Right.
It's giving.
Right. However, if we 1999 at 4,000 units,
No. Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I'm
I was
just
gonna
going-
say.
Bare minimum.
So let's say 10,000 units.
Yes, 10,000.
So
Let's
you
say
you,
shit.
you get where she's going with this.
yeah, it was.
Now her sound skin was up there hella high.
It was
I'm talking
some-
like 50,000, 45,000. Yeah, it
More
was
like
a lot
60.
Right.
If you
So
add up
you
that
get to
bread,
playing
huh?
with them. You feel what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Don't make me pull out my calculator.
And
Let's
listen,
bring our CDs back.
listen, and yeah. So
Yeah.
but with that said,
It can't beat the
During
game
that
up there.
time, Left Eye was trying to sign me. Karis One was
For
trying to
real,
sign
for
me. It was
real.
some good deals on the table, but I was kind of locked up in a contract. And you know,
I know they definitely was at you, Karis One.
I was looking
Left
at
Eye.
I was looking at the little documentary on A-Ball and MJG,
I ain't seen that shit.
and they was in a similar situation as you. They
Suave
was
House
hot
is-
as hell,
Suave
but
House.
Tony Draper wasn't divvying, and so you know what they did? They moved.
Out that state,
Yeah.
it's different. And
So-
No. I'm sorry. This is what happened. They was doing their thing, and they was tied into the to the dude in Memphis. They moved to Houston and got with
Jay Prince.
no Tony Suave House.
So they came up before they got was with Suave House.
Of course.
Oh, so
and
Tony
then
J-
they moved out there, and it was better. It wasn't ideal, but it was better than what they left.
And the Memphis niggas kind of cutthroat, huh?
Right, they left. They got up because Tony Draper, I guess that's who they was with,
Yeah,
right?
Draper, yeah.
Tried to sign him, tried to buy him out, but the old boy was playing hardball. So you said you was locked in. Now
Now, let me say this. I was locked in because, rest in peace, who name was on the paperwork. But Von, he wasn't involved with that. You know what I mean? I'm you know, you're trying to pick your words.
Yeah.
He wasn't involved in the holdback. He had got picked up. He like let her breathe, like let her go,
That's
let her go
exactly
get
what
it.
but you
Von
still
Listen
had
from
you had
Brookfield.
two
Mhm.
you had two signatures
tripping.
on your contract, Von and the other brother. But at that time, he was still living.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So really, what it was two signatures, but Von got locked up, and so from what I understand, he was like, let her go. She did anything
Yeah.
we.
Right, we won.
But
Guaranteed, he said that.
but
Guaranteed,
I
that's what he
didn't
said.
know that they wouldn't let me go. Like the other signatures
Right.
wouldn't let me go.
Guess what? I wouldn't let you go either.
So-
You about my $1 million situation. Yeah. Hey, I better let you fly though. I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
What
yeah,
was the term or the length of the agreement? Do you recall?
I still got that, but I would have to go back and look. It was
This what
like,
you do know. It was a time when you was hot, and they should have just said, "Hey, relinquish that and let you go do your thing."
Well, really-
they could have did
Or
that. You know?
accepted a buyout? Was it
Which
what
is-
everyone
yes,
presented?
Yes, they were offering Warner Brothers, Universal. They were offering
That's what I
buyouts,
was saying. Yeah.
and they wanted a label deal. And they was like, "You can't get a label deal with one artist.
Right.
Why would we give you a label deal and you don't have product?" Now, if they would have had me, Quinn,
You tried to sign me
Dingy.
too, I wouldn't sign.
Absolutely not, and I'm happy you didn't.
Right.
If it would have been all of those situations,
Sound
you
like
could have
that's
got a label
being
deal.
like a hater because it's like, well, we don't want to let her go. Give us a label deal. Well, we don't see you as a label, but we'd like to do business with you around this artist. No. Oh man. That's,
Wait, and
that's
then
terrible.
and then was like, give us the artist. We'll give you this. You can put your logo on the album to still look like it's that.
Oh, that's play.
And then
So
we
you
got
can
hated
still
on.
revisit it.
Right.
So
Major
they was
hate.
like, no, and then sent out cease and desist.
Oh, but no.
Cease and desist.
Oh man.
Yes, come on, man.
Oh man.
Yes,
So
sir.
anyway,
You still
Yeah,
here?
so that was-
No, the hustle continues.
So-
man.
yeah, absolutely. So the hustle can send you.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that was a moment. I always like to
That was-
frame things as moments.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because certain moments can happen, but we not quarter horses. We thoroughbreds.
And you can't stop
That's
God's
why your
plan.
skin don't look like you about 13.
Yeah, come on, man.
Girl, looking like a youngster up in there.
You're 12th
Thank
grader
you.
or something, huh?
Right.
Right, 12th grader.
Man, thank you.
So-
graduate.
That moment, how did that moment affect you, and how did it pass?
Okay, so I was like, you know, I think they think I'm not a quitter. I don't even know how to quit. Like, and only sharing my story, not bragging, because I hate when somebody sound entitled. But like, I've been doing this since I was a kid. Like,
Man, baby.
when Martin Luther King became a national holiday in LA, I had 5 mics in my face. I spoke for the NAACP as a kid. You get what I'm saying? So
You was born for
one
greatness.
one situation is you. This God's plan, and I feel like moments happen, and what you got to make sure you do is not become bitter, because God is bigger than the situation. You get what I'm saying?
How long?
I was tied up.
So it was an agreement. So usually when there's an agreement that nobody can come to a conclusion on, there's
It's
a certain amount of time that you had to sit or do music under the auspices of that bullshit.
So what I said was I wasn't giving not one more album. It was like, you need to get in this. I'm not giving. To be honest, the only reason why I did the first album is because the few songs that I had recorded, they was like, well, if you don't finish recording, we gonna put out what you got. So now that look like that's me.
Your body
So
of work.
now I'm finna go in there and I'm gonna do these 10. Well, it was really more than that, but I'm gonna add these songs and we gonna put this out, and that's what it's gonna be. And so
You didn't do. You refused to do any more records. So how long did that thing sit like that?
Didn't he
it
ask
sat
you-
for years.
Did he ask you to do hot shit?
Did he? I know he did. He might have did hot shit. He might have did hot shit because I believe he did All Out. I know he did. So I think I got
He
2
definitely
from
was-
him,
you had
and I
beef
think
with
it was
DSC.
hot shit and All Out.
They didn't accept the agreement.
They did-
and
okay,
how
so-
long they got you on
So,
ice?
for years. So what I wind up having to do was my performance was how I was making money. My features and my performance, because I was locked up in the, and this was a different time.
Right.
So you could really, they could have you stuff pulled and all of that.
Yeah.
So what I did was I went Gorilla, my version of Gorilla, and went to booking my own shows and performing, and then
Doing features.
all my features. So that's how I was moving around. And then I met a guy named Martin Luther from the city.
Come on now, Martin Luther. Shout
So,
out Martin Luther.
Shout out Martin
My
Luther.
brother.
I'm not the type of person, no matter time, distance, or space, I don't rewrite the story. I don't care what happened.
Right.
I'm not going, he got on my nerve, but it was, I don't rewrite. So with that said, met Martin Luther, dope artist,
Soul music.
absolute
Good brother.
good brother. So absolutely, when he
Solid.
called me, he said, Boots from the Coup needs a backup singer. Now I've never done background. Not saying I wouldn't, but I'm like, what I'm supposed? Do I gotta stand in one spot? I don't even know how to be still like that. So he put me and Boots in contact, and me and Martin Luther had did a few songs together. No, I think just the 1 or 2. We have a song called Sleepwalking, and he was able to get George Clinton to talk on it, and it was a dope situation. But he lined me up with Boots. Boots had me come out, and I learned a couple of his hooks, and I think he called me like 3 times, and I was like, am I finna have to? But sometimes the thing that's being sent to you is your way out. So then I didn't have to sit with that contract. Now he's calling me to come do shows, and he asked me literally like in 2004, I'm finna do a tour and we leaving for 2.5 months. Can you go? I was like, you know what? Yeah.
Yeah.
A little different. I'm not singing my stuff, but I can honestly say I've always been a performer. I've always loved the stage, but I can honestly say that he gave me a different audience to where I could kind of build my stage presence, not in private, but I'm gonna say in private because it wasn't in front of the hip hop crowd. It wasn't in front of R&B crowd. It was an alternative hip hop rock crowd. You know what I mean?
And now you're in the process of transitioning and developing the other aspect of your artistic, expression. You're starting to sing more.
So they would, and they were. Everybody had started calling me to sing, and a lot of people at first, when they would call me to sing, they wouldn't know I was the girl that rapped. And when they called me to rap, they like, you sing too? So it was kind of like having 2 situations going. And so Boots took me out on the road. We gone for 2.5 months. After that, he had me come literally on every tour after that. And it just kept developing, turning into this bigger thing and turning into this bigger thing to where now, Pam the Funktress, rest in peace to Pam.
Yeah, man, I love Pam, see, man.
One of the reasons why he made it a live band is because her thing was taking off with her stuff. So that was how I was able to, you know,
Spread your wings.
really spread my wings and really get me in front of these audiences and rock a live band and build a live show. So from 2004 on, and I want to say he did an album, I think it was called Pick a Bigger Weapon, and he had me sing a song called Baby. He wrote the song. He wrote this singing song. Now, I'll sing somebody singing song, you ain't writing no raps. 9 times out of 10,
Most
I
people
will.
get songs wrote, though.
Right.
Singing songs. most
Yeah,
people.
but you know that has nothing to do with the art of MCing.
No.
You feel what
No,
I'm
yeah,
saying?
MCing is a very personal thing.
That's a
and then-
very personal
and
thing.
it's competitive nature. But in order to be a complete artist, even nowadays, I would never suspect or think that my artist or someone needs the what you call it, the verse. You got the verse, but we could collab on the hook.
Yeah,
We can collab on the
yeah.
concept of the song.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
an MC,
Is
a
it-
real MC should be writing their bars.
Absolutely.
Singing from his heart.
Yeah.
Hands
Yourself.
down.
From your experience, from your passion.
Hands down, because somebody could be having a story and you like, yep, we making a song about that. And
Right.
now everybody vibing, having a good time, and you just feeling the
Right.
story. But
You been all over the world with Bootsy?
absolutely. So let me share this. He had me sing a song called "Baby Let's Have a Baby" before Bush do something crazy. And Boots never write a typical song. And normally I just come and sing the hooks and rock out during the show. And he always lets me do my own thing during his show. Like he'll leave the stage and I rock out and do my own song.
Right.
And then he come back, you know, whatever. And when he had me sing this song, during the same time in 06, our tour bus flipped over.
Oh,
So we had been on the road 2 years. Tour bus flipped over, 37 feet down a mountain. I had 3 broken ribs, punctured lung, trapped on a burning bus. Drummer pulled me off. We make it out the bus, and I was, you know, in the bed. I'm having to be on the mend. Because I had to say this out loud. What I respect about Boots is when they were able to still go on the road, he still paid me like I was there.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
mafia.
He still paid me like I was there.
Right.
And
Yeah, since
And-
You
and
had,
that's
you
something.
had a
Yeah,
what's that called when you get hurt yourself at your job
baby,
and you get paid? He gave you some work.
let me tell you, and he did. And the cool fans, which I appreciate so much. Like normally, I'm normally big hair and high heel boots. They was coming to the shows with boots and we love those boots you wore in Seattle, and
Right.
you know what I mean. Like them fans is some different fans.
They support you.
And but while I was on the men, he was like, have somebody go get Rolling Stone. How about in Rolling Stone they said the song I sang was one of the top 100 songs of the decade, and
Wow.
I didn't even have an album out.
Wow.
I didn't even have
that.
a.
Man.
That's
You know what I mean?
Yeah, some people
The hustle
are,
fucking continues, man.
Good things, man.
you know, some people energy is just it's impeccable and it's so much appreciated. And when you have that energy,
Yeah.
this brother,
Mm-hmm.
and definitely
you.
Boots has that kind of energy, and Martin Luther. But I say Boots is because he's just like when Quinn and I start working together. You know, I'm into wellness and
Okay.
things of that nature. And so I always want to see people doing well. And
Right.
if there's some wellness tools or some life tools that
Anything life beneficial.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
I'm sharing it.
He's a winner.
Right.
He wants to win.
And,
He want
um,
to see you win, man.
And
Nobody sees nobody win.
Boots had reached out to Quinn to just, you know, spread love on Quinn and tell him. And then in that process, he reached out to me, and it was almost a point where I was gonna work with his brother, but it was just all in the based on man, I like what y'all doing together.
Yeah.
Can you sprinkle some of that shit over here? Let me sprinkle some of this on you, you know? So I was like, wow, that's
Boosie made all kind. He
pretty
making
dope,
movies
man.
and everything, big movies.
And
Yeah.
and what's crazy about that, but that goes back to how long they had me sitting. So if we'd have made it to 2001, and during that time period, 2001, just not to stay there, but I believe that's when Ron got killed. So all of this happened. V got picked up. I'm locked into this contract. All of this has happened. Ron winds up
That's
being, you know, and
What year?
this 01.
Okay.
I think it was 01.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it
But
was
there
on,
was
yeah.
another signature
Man,
that,
Man, this-
you know, listen. So with that
Nerds,
said, with that said, during that time period, this is why I'm having to perform and feature and do all of that. And then 04, since, you know, they
It
got
was an
me.
APB out on
They,
you.
they,
I forgot about
since
that.
they
I
had
did so
me.
much gangster shit, man, that you forget about it in the
Right.
rapping and shit. you know?
Since they had me held, it wound up being a beautiful thing that Martin Luther threw that nugget, and I wound up with Roots. Even though I had the accident in 06, I was in Rolling Stone in 2 years from that.
Thank God you
Right.
was all right.
You get what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
And after that, I still just always have been featuring and
It's called, what's it
performing.
called? Validation.
Listen, man.
Validation.
Listen.
It was almost like you had there was a hiatus, not a self-imposed hiatus, but a hiatus that was strategically God put you on that thing. But then all the while, it was just a hiatus from your rap portion of your career. You end up transitioning to the performing artist you know, that's a greater longevity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because when you understand that, you
Right
can
hand is trying to
perform.
get some money.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
To be a performing artist, because that's what we all are now. Like, rap is just one of the things that we
Right.
do.
Right.
Within being a performing
It's
artist.
one-
Because this dude got jokes. He's a
Come on.
writer. You know, definitely
Hey,
jokes, a writer.
this dude
He's,
too,
he's
though.
an actor. You know what I mean? Obviously, now he's a host. But
Hey,
rapping is
this is my
something-
big homie from my neighborhood.
Yeah.
Silky.
Really?
Wayne, Wayne from Fillmore, man. He was the first one doing rapping and before
singing.
anything and singing and
Really?
together.
Yeah.
Before Drake thought about
The stage
Drake's
name-
I gotta
homework.
do my
The
homework.
stage name, Honest Bob.
Honest Bob.
Okay, wait, I remember this.
You heard Honest Bob name, man.
Yeah.
I first heard
I'm
his
gonna
name
do
in
my
86.
homework.
Out the window in Lakeview, man. Auntie Kim said, Honest Bob. I seen he shook up out of something. He's still here, Jack. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And like you said, it's the performing is really where people is starting to be able to, or not starting, but it's the thing that will always give.
Sustain
You know what I mean? It will be the thing that sustains you, because I call when I was with the Coup, or not when I was, but
Yeah.
touring with the Coup, it's my second job that took over.
Yeah.
Because that turned into, okay, I done hit Rolling Stone, or, you know, got that head nod. Now we overseas at least 3 to 4.5 months out of the year. It's on bills with Mos Def and Black Thought and
Where you supposed to
Talib.
be.
and-
Yeah.
You get what I'm and but we in front of crowds where when you know what you normally do and you gotta read the crowd to know how to get the reaction you want, I feel like it makes you really sharpen your iron. Like, you know what I mean? You can't just lay in the pocket and I'm so fresh, look at me. No, you better get up here and sweat.
Right.
Yeah,
No,
These
listen.
people done spent their money.
Come on.
So now you were able to be blessed with a new career path, and you begin to sing more and do live performances more. Obviously, your rap is going to always be there, but it got to the point where now you are able to be around people and have your own band.
Yeah.
To do your own thing.
Yeah.
Like I already know what cloth you cut from, but I was like, I saw you perform in front of a band with your band and just go crazy, like slash Tina Turner slash
Fucking with.
Lauryn Hill slash. I'm talking about all in the one.
Nicki Minaj.
Fucking with.
Yeah.
I was like,
Gumbo,
because
gumbo without the pork.
that's kind
man.
of what kind of cloth I'm cut from.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's what I can give your ass.
Trifecta.
Yeah, when I think about the closest, it's like Jamie Foxx. Like I get down like Jamie Foxx.
I could
I'm
dig
gonna
it.
rap, I'm gonna sing, I'm gonna tell jokes, I'm gonna write all that shit. Yeah,
And you gonna do some looking like. You gonna do some looking like.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, we gonna
Right.
collect some money and say, here goes Jamie Foxx over here. You want an autograph?
And I'm exec producer.
Yeah, come on, for real.
But with that said too, like you said, with doing the rapping and singing, that's why it was so split for me back then. Cause remember, when you did both, they didn't know what to do with you.
Right.
You gotta pick one. So I want to be known for rapping.
Right.
That's what my thought was. I sang something later, but it wound up being the thing that
Yeah.
when I wasn't putting out albums, I'm able to still tour and be in these rooms and like
Yes, yeah.
so even with that we wound up doing Coachella. We wound up doing Bonnaroo.
Come on,
280,000 people.
Wow.
What the
Shout
fuck?
out Boots, man.
Man,
Shout out Boots.
Boots from the
That
crew.
man
I got a mirror in my pocket and I practice looking over.
right. They better know it. But the respect that I have for him is one, because he always did good, clean business. He was never he never played funny with the money.
Right.
Come on, man.
Right.
Super
And
shout
it
out to the
ain't
Boots,
too
man.
many people I could
still
say
good?
that about. It ain't too many people I could say that about. You know,
always play too
you
much.
always wind up
And he humble in the motherfucker too.
humble. And then here go the other thing. And no disrespect, but you be like, how you didn't have the money to pay for the business or the verses, but you got the money to throw at the club.
Oh yeah.
You picking what you want to spend,
Right,
but you
right.
playing the music to seduce the crowd.
Right.
Where they do that at?
They not investing in the product.
You ain't.
I know.
So with that said, though,
Trick can make her sick, man. She's cold. Man. She can pee, man. She can pee, you know.
so
Real
with,
shit, though.
with that said, though, he never played funny with the money, and he always opened his stage for you to do whatever.
I
And
promise you, he gave me the people. He said, "Man, you want to make a movie? This what you do. You say who you want in it." And he told me to like quit thinking around the corner. Denzel Washington, who you want in it? We gotta say who we want in it. Then you come at the people with the. He gave me the game over from talking to him, and he was ready to give me a number. He said, "Just get the script together." I told you that.
And I remember this for a fact. Like, we will be on the road, and Boots don't be mad at me for telling this story. Boots would be eating Snickers, drinking Coca-Cola
Simple.
with headphones on while he's driving. Like, the first tours, he was driving, which always scared the hell out of me. But he'd have his headphones
The
on.
car didn't flip over with him driving, though.
No. And he always say that.
Yeah.
But we alive, though.
You made it. You made it.
But he had a laptop going, and he is in his zone, either pre-prepping, pre-writing. I literally remember him writing the movie while we was on
I
tour.
need to get with him. His movie is called
Sorry to bother you.
The Virgo. What?
No, that's the series.
Oh, that's the
So
series?
so the first thing was
Sorry to bother you.
Sorry to Bother
When
You.
you seen it with the
The
horses.
Virgo is the one that's on
Out.
fire right now.
Yeah, on Prime.
Is that how you say it?
It's
I
about
Am
the-
Virgo.
I am Virgo.
Yeah.
About the giant little kid, right? In the town.
Yeah.
And
13 feet tall.
Exactly.
It's ill.
Yeah.
you know what's a
And
trip?
it's real, though. It ain't no, like, it's like real TV.
And on top of that, it's a trip because when he did the Sorry to Bother You, one of the things he did do, he made sure everybody in the band showed up at some point on the screen. At some point, and I didn't get to have no lines, but
He put you in the mix, though.
but I got to play the best friend of the Tessa Thompson, the lead girl. So you'll see me sitting with her, whatever, but Boots always tries to make sure, like the drummer
he
and
includes
the
you.
guitar player, they was on the football team.
You made your debut.
You know, he always
You
try to
gotta
figure out a
We
way.
gotta get with Boots. bro.
Yeah.
I'm definitely slipping boots like
We,
a motherfucker, man.